Let's go to our second interview, which is with the lovely Kim.
Oh, hey there.
Thank you.
Hey.
Okay, so we're gonna, same thing, same drill. First up, let's have you introduce yourself. If you could tell us name, location, your business name, and how long you've been in business.
Yeah, so my name is Kim Flournoy. I'm based in Richmond, Virginia, but I'm originally from San Diego, so this accent came from wherever it came from. The name of my business is KFI Web Design and Marketing, and I've been in business going on 3 years now, but officially like 1 year when we got to LLC. So
Got you.
1 to 3 years.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Okay, so we're gonna ask same questions. So
Okay.
number one, can you kind of paint the picture for me? Tell me what your business and your life looked like pre-DTP.
Yeah, so pre-DTP, I was so frustrated and just overworked. Like I knew the destination I wanted to get to, but I didn't know how to get there. And I said this plenty of times, my business is like a buffet. Like everybody was just picking and choosing what they wanted to do. And I'm just like, I'm their employee. I felt like an employee to them. So pre-DTP, I was just like, this can't be life. Like I want to leave my 9 to 5, but I feel like I'm working a 9 to 5 for them. So yeah, it was just real chaotic in the design world for this.
Oh my gosh. And just to, you're still full-time in your job, right?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay, perfect. So those of you who are still full-time in your job, Kim also is well. So her perspective will be, I think, enlightening for you just to kind of see how it works when you are, full-time in your job, full-time in your business, and also she's full-time and active in our program as well. So can you explain or just kind of describe the feeling that, because you said it was frustrating.
Mhm.
Can you give me some more insight on what that felt like, or the frustration, how it felt as you tried to solve your problem?
Yeah, honestly felt like trapped. Like it was a never ending cycle. Honestly, before this, I did have coaching, but it was like short term. Like they told me the how, but never the why. And when you feel like that, you're like, okay, I should do this, but why am I even doing it? I had one tell me, not to knock any other coaching, but to raise my prices. And I'm like, I don't even know why I'm raising my prices. Like, if I don't know why, how am I going to tell somebody else what the value is behind it? So that's how I felt. Like I'm trapped in this never ending cycle. Like I'm about to be working my job for the rest of my life. And that's a no.
Right. I actually didn't know that you had that is such a great point. There's one thing to know how to do something, but to understand the reason why you're doing it is empowering someone
Mhm.
to make additional decisions moving forward. That is so interesting. They didn't teach you why.
Mhm.
Oh, we cover the why because I need you to know how to. My goal is for you to be able to succeed without me.
Right.
And you gotta know why, like, right? Oh,
Exactly.
that's wild. Okay,
Exactly.
so let's see. Next question. What would you say has been the biggest difference? And you've worked with another coach. So for those of you who've worked with other coaches out there, what would you say is the biggest difference about my process and my approach versus what you did with them? Of course, the why, but anything else?
Yeah. My biggest takeaway is the mindset. Like I had so many limiting beliefs and just things telling me why I couldn't do something, to where when I got to your program, I was like, did she just take a whole session to just teach us on mindset? Like I'm thinking I'm getting to this program and we're gonna learn how to design, raise prices. You were like, no, you're gonna get your mindset together first. You're gonna identify those limiting beliefs before you even think about designing anything. And I love that because it was like a self-reflection. Like I had to do self-inventory on myself to be like, you want to be a designer? Now get your mindset together first. So that was like eye-opening for me. A little emotional sometimes. I'm just like, wow, like this lady is really coming for me on the mindset part, but I needed it because I need that to go full-time in my business, to be honest.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I noticed that anytime, because with limiting beliefs, they always come back up. That's why we tackle them. But what I love about your approach, Kim, though, is that whenever you feel that or you see old habits and tendencies and things come back up, you always post in the group and you
Oh yeah.
get that like, okay, no, you're in control of your future because you're aware. And I love that so much about your approach. Okay, so then let me see. if you recall, can you share with me
Mhm.
the moment that you realized that DTP, this process, all this mindset work, the stuff that you didn't want to do, that you did do,
You're right.
how, like, when did you realize it was actually working?
Honestly, when I identified my ideal client and got a clear vision, because when you don't know who you're trying to serve, you're going to serve any and everybody. And one of the things like you made us focus in on is like, don't come to me with no any and everybody. Like, who do you want to focus on? And at first I was like, I'm not sure, but I'm like, my ideal client is the old version of me, like the person that I am trying to become. And once I was able to connect with that, my vision got so much more clear. I was able to talk to one person instead of trying to talk to the billion people on Instagram or social media or whatever. So that's when I knew. I was like, the fact that I know who I'm trying to serve, I know where I'm trying to go. DTP is where I need to be at.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so you've been in for about 4 months now. I think you joined in February, right? It was
Yeah.
February. So you're 4 months in. In addition to your mindset and all of what you've already shared, what would you say like your top accomplishments have been so far?
Yeah, so I'm really just getting my feet wet, but I just love the results I've gotten. It's not really tied to money, but just tied to this confidence that I feel. First thing first, I got a process and a structure and a system. Structure yields results. Like if you don't have a structure, it's kind of like building a house without a blueprint. You're just gonna be all over the place. So that was kind of like my biggest takeaway. And then once I understood the structure and the process, I took down my website completely. Like this website is not no longer serving me. And I had like a landing page and I booked my first 2 highest paying clients like within a month. And I was like, is this real? Like, I don't know what's going on, but it was like, I was so confident. The process went seamlessly. Like I was actually offboarding people like, wow, like, we're done. At first it's like, oh, she coming back because she done forgot something. It was like, no, do you understand that we're done? And do you understand the results? And now it's kind of like, feels like I'm in a driver's seat driving them versus me in the passenger seat trying to tell them directions on where to go. It's like, it felt so good just being able to accomplish that. Like in 4 months, I learned more than I did in the past like 3 years, which is crazy to me.
Yes. Okay, so there was something I wanted to highlight where you said, hold on a second, what did you say? What did you say? What did you say? I had a follow-up. I hate when my thoughts leave me. Okay, let me ask you my last question and then maybe my follow-up question will resurface. Okay, so with Maya, I told everybody that she didn't initially join, and that was your same story too, Kim, right?
Yes.
I want to say,
Yes.
how long did it take? I think it was like maybe 2 weeks.
Yes. Yeah, it took about 2 weeks.
So what for you changed? Because I know initially, here's the thing, guys. I hope you're okay. You're okay with how if I share how it went down?
Oh yeah, I don't care.
So of course, there's the application process. Kim applied, we approved her. She had a certain amount of time to decide if she wanted to join. And Kim had just bought a house, financial obligations, and was like, it's just not in my price point. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'll reach back out a little later. That never happened because Kim reached back out to me and was like, I think you said, I can't stop thinking about this. I know this is what I need. What changed? What changed?
Honestly, I was just like, I'm faith-based just like Maya. And I was just like, I had to pray about it because it was a big financial commitment. And I don't take it lightly, like anybody should when you're investing your money into something. But it was just the way we connected. You didn't even feel like you were selling me something. You was more like just laying this blueprint in front of my eyes that I didn't even realize. And it was just like, if I don't invest in myself, like who else is going to invest in me? How do I expect to sell high 4-figure packages when I'm not even willing to invest anything into myself? And then I really had to ask myself, like, would you be okay being in the same place you are a year from now? And I was like, absolutely not. I can't stand this job. I'm really just like frustrated. I can't work with the same clients. I don't even know who I'm trying to attract. I'm like, and if she is willing to offer me something, I'm gonna make a way, and God's gonna make a way. I haven't missed not one mortgage payment, food still on the table, money still coming in. So it's just like, I would still be sitting here frustrated though, because I'm too scared to invest in myself. So that's honestly what I had to do. And I couldn't do it immediately. It was just not going to happen that next day. But the fact that I was able to reach back out to you, you were still open. You weren't like, it's closed or like, don't talk to me. Because some people do that. They were like, you were like, okay, I understand like what limiting beliefs you had. And I love that you asked that. Like before I even signed up, you're like, let's talk through a limiting belief. And I was like, oh, she's like even want to talk to me about my limiting belief before I even invest in the program. So that's when I knew like, it's a no-brainer, girl. Get over yourself and get it done.
Girl, get over yourself. That right there, and sometimes it's just that scary leap of faith that it takes. And you've painted the picture like in just a matter of 4 months, so much has changed for you. And I know you said it wasn't, those changes really aren't money based, but you have generated, like you sold your highest packages. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. And it was not with a full website. It was a landing page. But guess what? Guess what, Kim, they get when they come in DTP? They will get me telling them how to do that landing page. We walked through everything you need to put on that landing page and what the next thing was.
Right.
So the approach is to simplify. We simplify stuff so that we can make the changes that we need to make, because we just overcomplicate stuff for no reason because we feel like it has to be hard, right?
Yes.
So I just love that, one, you didn't feel like I was selling to you. I don't sell to people. Sorry, my dogs are barking. I don't need to sell to anyone because the transformation speaks for itself, right? And the beauty is that not only are you learning how to do that in your business, but you're able to help your clients do the same thing.
Right.
So how does that feel? How does that feel for you?
It feels great. I mean, as a designer, we do want to bring our clients results. We're not just sitting here designing something just for the sake of designing, but when you know what result you can possibly get them, like, look, I'm able to book 4-figure clients with my process. I'm showing you how to do the exact same thing. So if you're willing to listen to me and put in that work, I can get you the same result that I have, if not better. So it feels good to be like, look, I know where we're going. Not we just about to do some random road trip. We got a destination in mind. Let's get you there. So that's how I feel.
Yes, I love that so much. Okay, any last words of advice or a tip, encouragement for any designer who's maybe in your current situation and wants this change? What would your advice be to them?
Yeah, I mean, I'm coming from I'm not a full-time designer yet. I still work my 9 to 5. It takes up a majority of my day. But what I will say is you can't think of an investment as like a transaction. Like you work 2 weeks, you're automatically going to get a payment or a result back. Like this is long-term. And if your goal is like to go long-term, definitely think about that long-term investment because this program will help you get to not something in 2 weeks, but in 2 years, you can be full-time. You can be doing things you never thought you could do, spending time with your children, running a business from your home. Like it's not going to be like a 9 to 5 job where you're trading time for money. It's like you're investing in something. So definitely don't take it lightly, invest in yourself. And honestly, other people will see that and they will give you what you want in threefold. So that's what I would just say.
Yes, I love that. I made that mistake for sure, not investing because I didn't think I could afford to do it. And the result that I got was that it took me 10 years to finally figure this stuff out.
Well, thank you for teaching us to do that in less than 10 years.
Exactly. And that's the beauty in it, and again, it's not a magic pill, it's not a silver bullet, it's not an overnight what is it? Overnight celebrity thing. That's not what this is. And so if that's what you're after, that's okay. I will note like that's not like getting results like that is not sustainable. And so that's not our approach. And if that's what you're after, then this probably isn't the best fit for you. But if you're in it for the long term, I love that piece of advice that you just shared with us, Kim. So thank you so much.